So in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about why I think it's important that you should be investing in yourself before anything else. You see, the problem is in our society, we're taught to invest in everything else before ourselves. You're taught to invest in your 401k, in crypto, in stocks, in Tesla, in paying off your debts. You're taught to invest in all these things, but nobody ever talks about investing in yourself. And you see, the common misconception with that is most people believe that if you invest in those things like stocks, like Tesla, all that stuff is going to lead you to financial security before anything else. And I'll be honest, that's not exactly false, but I do believe investing in yourself is probably the best way to get to that financial security that you're probably looking for. And here's why. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to tell you guys a little story before I dive into my points on why I think you should invest in yourself. So at the time, I was 25 years old. And when I was 25 years old, guys, I was down bad. I'm talking about bad. For real, for real. I had just had to move home with my parents because I had run out of money and they let me move into their place. So anyway, I was living in their place for a little while. I wasn't paying no rent. I still had a job, but I had been able to save up a little chunk of change, right? Because I wasn't paying no rent, nothing like that. So I had saved up that little chunk of change. I remember walking into my mom's room one day and asking, yo, I got this money. And what should I do with it? Should I pay off my $6,000 in debt that I've been skipping for a long time? And by a long time, I mean a long time. Or should I take this course for sales because I'm struggling with my job and I don't really know. I want to make more money. Mom, what should I do? Now, don't get me wrong. I love my mom to death. I really do. But she's old school. She comes from that mentality of take care of everything first. Put everything in your 401k. Pay off your debts. So you already know what her answer was. She told me take that money that I had and pay off my debt first. Now, if you guys know my hard-headed ass, I didn't listen to her. I did think about it because that was the safe thing to do. But to make a long story short, I ended up taking that chunk of change I had and I invested it into some sales training. Now, once I spent that money and started taking the course, it felt risky. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I ain't got no more money. I still got this debt. These creditors calling me, everything. But after I took that course, I ended up gaining the skills that I needed to. I went from being the last sales rep in my company to being the first sales rep in my company. And by the time I had made all the money that I was supposed to make, I could have paid that debt off 10 times, at least 10 times. So that's the whole moral of the story, guys. I had chose to invest in myself, chose to invest in a skill set before paying off my debts. But anyway, we're going to dive into the points now. The number one reason that you should invest in yourself over anything else is because you have control of yourself. You control you. You can control your actions. You can control your thoughts. You can control your attitude. You can control your mood. You can't control the stock. You can't control the chart. You can't control any of these outside factors. It just don't work like that. So while you're investing in yourself, if you invest in learning a skill set, that's something that you can actively control and you can manage that yourself. Whereas with a chart, whereas with investing, you just got to watch it and see what happens. Hope you pick right. Right. So that's the number one reason you should invest in yourself. The second reason you should invest in yourself and invest in a skill in particular is because a skill really never goes away. Like that's an investment that really never goes away. And me investing in that sales training allowed me to make multiple six figures. And like I told y'all before, pay off my debts. But not only that, that skill transfers. I can now really get any job that I want to, any job that I apply to. They say, oh, you can do sales. You've had success. Come on in, Glass. And on top of that, it allows me to really just travel the world. So you guys should invest in yourself, but also invest in a skill because those things transfer. Skills don't really fade. They don't really diminish. You can always take those with you. And then reason number 3 that you should invest in yourself is because if you don't invest in you, who else is going to do it? Let me tell you, nobody's going to invest in you like you're going to invest in you. And a lot of y'all are in y'all 20s that watch my video. And let me tell you, your 20s is your time to do you. That is your time to start setting yourself up and start building the life that you want. And the only way that you can do that is by having a good foundation. And the only way that you can do that is by investing in yourself, by investing in your skills, but not only your skills. You got to start investing into your mental health. You got to start investing into your body, into your physical health. All these things, all these little investments that you are making to yourself in your 20s is going to have a compound effect when you get to your 30s. It's going to have a compound effect. And you'll see that if you made those little investments right, it's going to pay off in a major way for you guys. But anyway, guys, those are the reasons I think you should invest in yourself. I am very passionate about this because I've seen the success myself. So if you're out there and you're doubting, should I take that course? Should I go get that education? Should I watch that video? Should I up level my skills? The answer is without a doubt, yes, do it. It will be worth it in the end. And if not, you will learn something and you will grow from it after that. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Young Glass out. Peace.